Ruth Soap. I'm Ellen, and today we are getting into fall mode. We're gonna make sweater weather. I love this scent. I did it last year, and I used my little sugar pearl leaves on top. Love it. So sweater weather, I'm using the one from Be Scented. This is a dupe. I think it's a Bath and Body Works dupe. But anyway, it's a good one. It smells good. It does discolor to brown in soap. So I'm going to be using a little titanium dioxide with the colors I'm using today. And let's talk about the colors. So again, my little sugar leaves. I used these last year too. I love them. They're so cute. And I did put these on a bundt cake recipe video that I did a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, you'll see. Hopefully you're seeing it all. If you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please do so you don't miss anything going on here in the studio. I have so much fun in here. Let's talk about the colors. Back to it. So for the red, I'm going to use Red Vibrance Nurture Soap, which is now called Nurture Handmade. Just a great color, and it's just a good red. It's not a true red. It's got a little bit more burgundy red to it. I love it. Good fall color. But again, with a discoloring fragrance, I'll add a touch of TD in here to hopefully keep it on the lighter side so it won't brown up so much that you can't discern the colors. And then the next color, I'm going to use Evergreen Mica from Brambleberry. It's just a great color. Love it. And then I have two from Be Scented. I'm going to use Goldenrod and Tangerine will be my my orange and yellow colors. So all of these are kind of fall-ish colors. And I think with the discoloration, they'll kind of rust up, and I'm hoping they just look really good and represent. And being sweater weather, I was thinking of a cable knit sweater, so I'm going to do layers today, and that's the plan. And then those little sugar leaves on top, kind of straight up. What I'll do is I'll make my oils and my lye, and then I will split them into 4 equal parts and mix them 1 layer at a time. That's how I get nice crisp layers. And so hopefully it'll come out looking like a warm, cozy sweater for autumn. I just love everything about making this soap. It smells good. Hopefully it's going to look great. Got to get everything pulled together, and let's come back and make some sweater weather soap. And we are back, and what I have here, the recipe will be written down in the description box below. And I have my oils and butters all melted. Additives are in here. Fragrance is in here. This is the total volume of the oil portion. And here is my lye pitcher. I'm being careful because I took my gloves off to do the math. And I have a teaspoon of titanium dioxide in here also, so that everything will get a little TD with the colors. And this is an interesting fragrance, this sweater weather has 0 vanillin, and it discolors to brown. Not sure what's going on there, but it does. But the scent is worth it because it smells so good. So here is my lye solution, and I wanted to talk through how I am going to divide this up into 4 equal portions and mix it 1 little micro batch at a time. One of the things that I think is really important is that you have duplicate containers. So this is what I'm going to be measuring my lye in, and these all weigh the same. These are the exact, so you could use any cup you want. A plastic water cups, I've used those before, but just something where they're all the same, so when you tear your scale out with one of these, it'll stay the same for each measure. And then we'll split this up, and the same with the oils. I have these little long spout pouring pitchers, and they are equal, so that when I put one up on the scale and tear it out to split this batch, they will all be the same. That I find that easier to work with. So what I did was, before I pulled out my oils, I measured this container, and I'm working in ounces today, but the recipe will be in grams as well. This container weighs 7.35 ounces, and so I wrote that down on my little notes here. I wrote down 7.3 for the soap pitcher. The lye container, stainless steel lye pitcher, was 8.3 ounces. And then I tear it out. I measured everything, teared out my scale, and measured the total, subtracted the amount of the pitcher, and that came up with what's in there, because this isn't just the water and the lye. I put in a teaspoon of titanium dioxide. That has a little weight to it. The silk has no weight. The sodium lactate, I put a teaspoon of sodium lactate in here. And sugar, that's heavy. So this is a couple ounces more. I wanted a total weight. So I hope that makes sense. I measured the empty container, filled it up, got the total, subtract the empty container, and now I have a total amount. So for my oils, I had ended up with 39 ounces of volume in here, and that includes the fragrance and the additives and everything. Divided by 4 will be, each of my little containers will get 9.75 ounces of soap oils. And I'll split this up, and then I'll do the same with the lye. I hope I am not complicating this. It's really quite simple. Just get a total number, take out your handy dandy calculator, and that's what I do. I add it up, subtract. I take 39 ounces divided by 4, and that's 9 ounces, 0.75, and that's what I'm going to fill these up with. My little bite-sized pieces of soap, oils, and lye, and am able to make little micro batches for the layers, and that way I am not rushing through, because this fragrance got pretty good reviews. A couple people said it accelerated, so I don't want to mix the whole batch and have to pour the first layer when it's really liquidy, and then by the time I get to the last layer, it's going to be thick and problematic. I like to do it one layer at a time, and this is how I accomplish that. So, and my titanium dioxide is settling, so another tip is, if you have additives like I do, I stir it as I'm pouring it into the smaller containers. I'm going to keep stirring in between each one so that each container will get the same amount of additives in there in case there's any settling. Oh, that's a mouthful. All right, let me get all this split up, and we'll come back when it's time to make our first layer. And we are back. Everything is split equally. Got my little mini lye cups here. I'm going to set those off to the side. I don't want them to get bumped. And now to my oils, I'm going to go ahead and add my colors in here. It just makes it easier to have the colors all pre-mixed in the oil, so you're not fussing when it's time to pour. And I do have my little flower mold off to the side, because on my layers I'm going to be running my little hanger, or it's not a hanger tool, my little comb tool. This is a frosting comb, and this one fits inside my Amazon mold perfectly. And so when I run this through, I have a little extra frosting on here. I'll scrape it off into my flower molds so nothing goes to waste. So all the prep work is ready to go. Let's add our colors in here and get to pouring each layer. Just switch these around. I'm going to start with green and go red, orange, yellow. So we'll go from darkest up to lightest on the color, and that's how I'm going to pour the layers. Kind of like, you know, summer fading into fall, maybe. That's my mindset. All right, let's get these blended up. Our little micro batch number 1, layer number 1, and I will get this up to a nice trace. If it's speeding along, that will help me get it in the mold faster, and wait till it's nice and thick before I go in with my little frosting comb, because I really want these peaks to show. So when the soap is cut, it will hopefully look like a little cable knit sweater. That's the goal. So let's get our little titanium dioxide lye solution in here and see how everything goes. Layer number 1. the next day, and you can see the color morph. This went through gel phase, and you can see it actually cracked on the top in between the flowers here, or not flowers, the leaves. So I did put this on the heating pad with a cooler over the top. I forgot about it, so it went, I usually leave it on there for about an hour, then I turn the heat off and just let it sit. I had it going for about 2 hours with the heating pad. And if I had caught it early enough, if you see your soap cracking and you catch it in time, it will actually close back up. But I didn't. I found this the next morning with its little cracked surface. I don't think it's going to matter at all when we get in there. But I did want to talk about the color morphing. So this is browning up as I expected, because even though this fragrance doesn't have vanillin, all the reviews said it discolored to brown, which is why I had the TD in the lye solution. But look at this. Here is the little extras when I did the comb and what I couldn't fit in the mold here that did not go through gel phase. This little flower mold sat off to the side, and look at how muted and pastelish the colors are. These are really quite beautiful. We will see. I'm going to cut this today, obviously. We're going to get it out of the mold and cut it, see how those lines came out. And I'm going to let this sit for several days to a week before I do my final photography, because I want to see how this color deepens up or what happens to it. And I will show you guys this also to see if this darkens up at all, because if it doesn't, I'll be sad I went through gel phase. I think these colors are quite lovely. So let's get this out of the mold and see what the inside of this bad boy looks like. All right, we are back. It's cutting time, and I'm going to put this loaf with the leaves facing out so that hopefully I won't get too many drag marks. All right, let's see how she goes. All right. Aw, very cute. This one got a little wiggly. I probably should have waited a tad longer for the orange. And I can see, well, you can see the discoloring out here, and you can see a little bit of a halo, so these will definitely be darkening up. But overall, I think these are adorable. All right. Wow, that doesn't look orange at all. It's rather fleshy color. Not loving that. I'm hoping it darkens up. If it goes to this sort of rusty color out there, beige, that would be okay. Not crazy about the color right now, but again, if you see that little rim, I think we're gonna morph, and this is almost a teal color. Interesting color morph, huh? This will be fun to see. I'll definitely wait a while before I take photography for you guys. All right, and you can barely see on here the little bit of glitter. I don't know if you can really even make it out. I just wanted to make sure that the lines had definition, and that's why I did a little bit of the Eco Glitter sprinkle in there. Not a lot, but a little. I don't know if you can even see it. All right. So the top, that's kind of a mustardy color. Interesting. And these little sugar leaves will just dissolve off. They are totally, septic safe. Not a big deal being sugar. I don't think they cause any issues at all. So they're just decorative. Now it's got me thinking, I wonder if I had not used any titanium dioxide, how dark this would have gotten. Huh. I might have to try another little test batch just to see, out of curiosity's sake. But anyway, these smell fantastic, and I find it interesting that this fragrance does this without the vanillin. If anyone knows the chemistry version of why that would happen, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below on why a non-vanillin fragrance would discolor. I would love to hear the sciencey explanation. All right, well, as per usual, I am going to let these set for a few hours before I come in and do the beveling and stamping, and then I'm actually going to wait a week or so before I do my final photography for you guys so we can see this discoloration together. Well, I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this fall-inspired, kind of looks like a wonky sweater soap, and we shall see the final color at the end. But I appreciate you taking the time to be here, and I hope you have a wonderful day.